Hey, I'm Olli, Yes, sorry, English is not my native language. Anyways, my name is Olli. I'm the drummer for the metal band called Gomorran, Helsinki-based black death metal drummer, and I play double bass in the band. Yes, and that's why I am reacting now to the video of top 10 tips for double bass drumming by 66Samus. 66Samus is one of my favorite drummers, though. I really like his content. I guess every metal drummer does, and me too. So yeah, he's a lot faster than I am. But yeah, I've been practicing this double bass stuff for a long time, and with a very strong purpose on getting faster for the past 2 years. And so this is kind of like, I don't know, important topic for me. So we'll see what kind of comments can I give on this. I've been taking some good lessons from very good teachers, and they've given me very good tips. Maybe I can add something to this. Okay, what the hell? Okay, those kick drum pads are super weird, but he's playing insanely good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck yes.
What is going on, you guys?
Hey,
today we are
it's totally
talking
fine,
about
thank you.
double bass, and more
Okay,
specifically, some tips that'll help you get started with it, get more comfortable with it, maybe even get a little faster. Double bass is a key ingredient, and you're going to be utilizing it all the time. For most musical genres, the entire band is relying on the drummer to keep in time with, and they're usually listening to the snare and the kick. And it's even more important for metal, especially when
Not my band. My band is not listening to the kick or snare because at the rehearsal room they cannot hear the kick, and they're just, I don't know, they're not listening to me at all.
First, let's talk about technique, since this is something I get asked about almost every week.
Yep. Every time when someone plays fast double bass, there are people like, oh, can you tell us about your technique?
Is called heel up, and it's pretty straightforward. The heel is off the ground or off the pedal board about 99% of the time. Playing at a slow tempo, we're pretty much moving the whole leg up and down. And if you're asking why we're doing heel up and not down, well, I encourage you to try hitting the bass drum with your...
Yeah, that whole heel up thing, that's kind of old school thing. Lots of old drummers do that, and I don't know, that puts a lot of pressure on your calves. And yeah, but I don't know, do it if you want to.
your heel on the floor or on the pedal board. It's a lot harder to hit the drum because it's forcing you to use less muscles.
I don't think that you use less muscles if you play heel down. Oh, wait, if you play heel up, you're not using less muscles. If you play heel down, you're just using smaller muscles, and it needs more power from your shins to be able to play longer periods, and it's just about getting used to it.
Later on in this video, stop getting ahead of me, you know I don't like it! Full leg, up, down, up, down. Yeah. For faster tempos, it's going to be much more of an ankle motion than a full leg motion.
He makes it look so easy.
The feel is pretty different between tempos as well. You'll notice that when I go faster, it's more of a bouncing motion than a stomping motion. And no, I'm not doing any kind of swivel technique. I'm literally just bouncing my foot like that. And you're probably...
Yeah, you know, the whole thing, that ankle technique, it's just, a lot of drummers, maybe, they are just too lazy to get into that thing because, you know, this just takes lots of time to learn. Yeah, I started learning that one like 2 years ago. I'm still working on it. I'm practicing quite a lot. That's basically like the thing that I practice the most, just to get the ankle motion going. And I actually have a video on my channel where I tried, well, like a 2-year-old video that I just uploaded recently, which shows like me practicing that ankle thing for like, I don't know, for the first times. It's really impossible to control the whole thing, and then it's just like, it gets fucking annoying, and you have to practice a lot. It takes a lot of time to get the thing going, and if you really want to embark on that path and try to learn to play fast double bass with your ankles, then I wish you the best of luck, and be unyielding. That's what I can say. Like, it's gonna feel like the world is going to end, and you, like, the purpose of your life, you just lose it for a while, and it just feels like nothing is going forward. But it will take time, and then you will feel better about it soon. In 2 years.
Pedals, and these are the brand new quiet
ads. I don't want to see ads.
Playing on a practice that you can attempt even put the check out the quiet kicks for your let's talk about your seat height and the distance from the pedals, because this is more important than people think. This will drastically change how you play and also the feel. You don't want to sit too
You see 66Samus, he sits super high. He's very high. I think he used to be very high too back in the days when he was touring with the Abigail Williams.
Low, because that's going to mess up your lower back. And you also don't want to be too high up to where your feet aren't even touching the floor. That's
No, he likes to be high up.
going to put unnecessary strain on your legs too. Usually you want to set it so your hips are just slightly above your knees when you're in playing position. This is personal preference, of course, so you do what is most...
It's not fucking personal preference, it's the truth. Everybody who sits lower is wrong. Sorry. That might cause some... that might irritate some people, but I don't care. It's just, you know, your muscles are loose and you feel relaxed and stuff like that when you sit your back straight and you have your ass at least at the same line as the top of your kneecaps, and then also you have your ankles kind of like... well, I'm gonna fucking draw it out for you. That's your drum throne. So basically you want to sit with your back straight, your knees go a little bit lower, and then your, how you call this part of your leg, it's also a little bit open. Then you just don't feel pressure on your muscles. That's what you do. It makes playing full leg a lot easier, it makes playing ankles a lot easier, it makes everything a lot easier, it makes you have better balance also. You can just do whatever and you will have better balance. The coffee is cold. Yep, anyway, that's how you want to do it, and that's just yeah. Well, there I wouldn't say as the drummer from Nightwish, Winter Sun, and X Swallow the Sun, and Rotten Sound, Kai Hahto said, there is no wrong techniques, there is just unfavorable techniques. Yes. There are no wrong techniques, there are just unfavorable techniques. That's what Kai Hahto said. That's what I think too. And if you sit lower than your knees, then it's very unfavorable for you. It's gonna hurt your back and tense your muscles.
And in terms of how far back you're sitting, you want to keep it as natural as you can. Wherever your legs and feet just naturally fall down when you sit down, that's where you want to try to position your pedals. And
yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, natural. Just kind of like try to find a point like how wide your legs are, how open they are. Just a point where you don't feel any tension anywhere, where you can just move easily and relaxed. That's the point. That's the whole purpose.
Bottom line here, stick with what is comfortable and what feels natural. And remember, just because your favorite drummer sits a certain way does not mean that exact same positioning is going to work for you too. But I'll tell you this,
Yes. Lots of Finnish guys like this. Laku Lahtinen from Popeda, he's a great guy. I really like him. He's a great musician, a great drummer, everything. And but he sits way too low. But he knows it.
Once you do find the perfect seat height and pedal distance, control is more important than speed.
Fuck yes. Who said this? This? What he said? What he said? Exactly.
Believe me,
that's like 90% of the drummers from the place where I practice, and also 50% me. No, it's just super fun. Just try to go as fast as you can and just, don't give a fuck about control. Just go as fast as you can. And then it's a mess, and other people who are like, I don't know, walking on the outside of your practice room, they're probably going to think just what the fuck is going on.
I know, it's a lot of fun to go fast, but we cannot poop without peeing. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
So do not be afraid to slow the fuck down. Make sure you're focusing on the consistency of your hits.
Yeah, this is actually very important. Like, as I started playing and practicing the whole ankle technique for the double bass, and I got some tips from Kai Hahto, and he actually told me just, like this kind of like very good exercise that I've been using. Place your foot on the sweet spot of the pedal and just swing it like super slowly, and don't even try to swing it, just like aim for the maximum control. Get your heel up and just press the pedal down and release it up. You just place your foot there and you just press it down and release it up. Press down and release. And that's what you're going to do a lot. And then the point is that you're not allowed to lose contact with the ball of your foot and the pedal. You have to stay in contact all the time. Yep, that's what I did. And then at some point, when I was able to keep consistent movement, then I moved to work it with the drum. And that's also very good, like every time when you start and you warm up, just kind of like, get used to the feel of the pedal, like get in contact with it in that way. Prepare your brain to work with the pedal. Practice, unlike many people say, you can do heel up ankle technique in 130 BPM, 140 and 150. You can do those BPMs, and I think that's super important to work those BPMs, because those are like the tempos where people are weak, and you will be weak if you're just trying to push fast. And once you're like really confident, I don't know, with the 150 and 140, and you can do those easily, then you can easily get up. You can just pump up the tempo and become faster and faster and faster, because then you have a strong foundation on the technique, what you do. But of course, you have to regularly try to push yourself to play faster, because like Derek Roddy said, to play fast, you have to play fast.
So please, if you want to go faster, make sure you are comfortable enough to go faster, and only increase the tempo when you are ready. This brings us to the next tip: practice with a metronome.
Yes.
We are humans, and sadly we will never have the exact perfect timing as a computer metronome or a...
And we don't need to have. That's how we relate to other humans.
That most bands nowadays will use a metronome or a click track to record their songs in the studio. So if you're a...
Yes, and we also use click track live, because we have backing tracks, and I have to play with the click track all the time.
And it's also a great way to track your speed progress.
Yes.
And here's a pro tip for you.
Yeah. When you start out with the ankle technique and other techniques, like I actually don't use click at that point. Just try to get the technique down first. But then when you feel comfortable with the technique, or decently comfortable with the technique, then start using click.
But if you want to keep getting better, you need to keep pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. It's literally one of the best ways to learn new things, right?
Yep. The essence of practice. To feel uncomfortable.
Try something stupid slow, like, I don't know, like 77 BPMs. This is not going to be great, but let's go.
I was actually super afraid of slow tempos, but then when I got to my drum lessons and my drum teacher made me to play like 50 and 60 BPM tempos, it's just, I don't know, I've learned to play those tempos. And it doesn't scare me anymore.
Practice playing rudiments with your feet.
Yep. Yeah, learning rudiments is really good for your hands and for your feet. So actually, if you do the double strokes like right, left, right, left, just doing consistent double strokes on your feet, that's actually very good practice for control, and that will actually help you with the single strokes, with the alternating single strokes, to get them even, if you can do the double strokes. I actually went to the drum lesson with Kai Hahto, and I was just like joking about playing bleed, because when I was a teenager, that was the thing. Like basically, like everybody were like, if you can play bleed, then you are a good drummer. That was the song is kind of a meme. It's a very good song, but it's also a meme. So and then he was like, he took it seriously, and he was like, okay, and then we were practicing bleed after that for like, I don't know, for another half an hour or so.
And lastly, we can do the hands and the feet simultaneously, doing different patterns in the...
It's really good to practice playing in unison with your hands and with your feet, because you can do lots of cool stuff.
Tip number 7 is a chore that most of us lazy drummers don't like to do, and that's make sure you spend time working on your non-dominant foot.
Yes. There are drummers that tell you not to practice like, one foot alone, and they don't think that you have to practice separately or non-dominant.
There's many ways
foot.
you can do this. You just start tapping your foot, get it moving, get it used to doing everything that your main foot does. It's even worth taking the...
You have, I would say that spend at least 1/3 more time on your weak foot than the main foot. Also, learn to, play beats and double bass patterns like around, like that you will lead with your weak foot. That will help a lot.
Only your left foot,
and also as metalheads, metal drummers, we mostly don't use hi-hat to keep time, and that's why our left foot is quite weak. So yeah, that's also a good one. Yep, now he's doing this. Playing beats with the weak foot.
Just get that foot used to hitting the bass drum more. That's what we're looking for, Daddy. Okay, let's talk about spring tension next, because that's another one I get a lot of questions about. To explain spring tension, babies. So you might guess that higher spring tension is much easier to play faster with because it feels bouncier, and you would be correct.
Just a good point. Like, I know lots of metal drummers, they like to crank up the tension on their pedals, but that's very unnecessary. Even though like quite a few fast people say that it's necessary, like fuck them. Fuck them. Basically, if you have looser spring tension and you can't play fast, then it's about the technique, lack of technique. 66Samus, he can play very well. I'm not... Sorry! No offense, but I'm not talking about 66Samus right now. This is general talk. General talk. If you see no band called Brumir or Feastem, their drummer Patrick, he's insane. He is insane. Patrick Felt. Oh fuck yes. His hand technique is amazing. Yes. So he's fast as fuck, He's fast. And he told me on this one Facebook discussion, I'm not sure if he told me, if I just read the discussion. I don't know. But anyways, he actually doesn't use high tension in the pedal springs. He has them I think medium loose or something like that. He has quite loose tension on the springs. So that's the thing. You don't need high tension. The main thing is when you start practicing the double bass thing with your ankle, it's important that you can bounce the pedal to the drum head. It's no use if the pedal is so tight that you just kind of do like a proper stroke. Like your ankle is super weak when you start learning the whole double bass thing with your ankles, and so you need loose tension. Like, you know, use maximum like medium tension or even looser. Set up the tension in a way that you can hit the drum head. If you crank it up and then you think like why you can't do it, it's just because it's way too tight. You don't have the strength in your ankle to use to like do anything, and that's why you're gonna fuck up. Don't default to tight pedals, because that's not gonna help you to learn the technique. You have to be able to keep this up.
The goal here is to get the tension set just right so that the bottom of your feet are almost always touching the pedal board. You'll eventually find your sweet spot. Once you get really comfortable with it, you can just, it'll feel like you're just sort of bouncing a basketball.
Yeah, the whole basketball bouncing thing is kind of an important feel. Think how to describe the feel, how it should feel.
But when you're first starting double bass, I definitely recommend using a medium or even a low spring tension, because...
Oh yeah, sorry. I was explaining my bullshit too early. Of course, 66Samus, I'm so sorry. You're a clever man. You are a clever man. I'm sorry. Sorry I doubted your wisdom.
Your muscles aren't used to it yet. You want to ease them into it, and you don't want to hurt yourself. Don't over practice. Some of you may not have realized this.
Why shouldn't I practice 3 hours every day? What the fuck?
They just pick up the instrument and they want to go. They want to practice 10 hours a day. They want to make really quick progress. They want to be the best. Even if you think you're practicing smart and you're always challenging yourself, you know, if you do this too much or too often, you eventually will come to a point where you just stop making progress.
Yep. That's exactly. You know, like playing drums and practicing drums is really pretty much just practicing your muscles. You, if you think like if you want to have big muscles, then you go to gym. You don't go to gym and spend there like 3 hours every day and then never rest. That's not how your muscles grow. Like in the same way, then you want to have big biceps when you work out in the gym. Then that's the same way if you want to practice. You are practicing smaller muscle groups and smaller muscles, but at the same time you're still practicing kind of your nerve system, and that's what you do in a gym too. And your brain, your nerves, and your muscles, they need time to heal and rest.
And that's to play along to your favorite songs, even if they don't have any double bass in it, add it yourself.
This is what I do, like as a warm-up, or when I start feeling that the playing is just not going well and I don't feel like practicing.
The whole point to this one is to add more.
That's what I do. It's just fun. It's just fucking fun. And sometimes I take this like, you know, like 160 BPM pop music, and then I just play those pop songs with the double bass. Du hast mich gefragt. Und ich hab nichts gesagt.
And for a more advanced example of doing this,
yeah, this is for guys who have been practicing a longer time. You know, it's quite a fast. So if you're just starting out, don't do this because you cannot.
That's gonna do it for this lesson video, you guys. I sincerely hope this helps you along your double bass journey. Thank you all so much for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. That was me watching 66Samus giving his tips on double bass drumming. He had good tips. I hope my commentary was something helpful to you guys. 66Samus he had very good points, very good things, and lots of truth. He has lots of experience. Listen to him. He's doing the right thing. So this is my band, Gomorran. Go listen to my band. We do YouTube. We have music on Spotify. Gomorran. We're on Spotify. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Gomorran Metal. Go follow us. Give us a like and listen to our metal. And like the video. Subscribe. Do everything good. Hopefully you enjoyed my comments and my dumb jokes. And yeah, I will make another video sometime in the future. Have a nice week, everybody. It's Olli signing out. Goodbye.